EastEnders spoilers for next week, 12th to 15th May. Front, Kathy gives Harvey the cold shoulder. Harvey and Kathy first kissed in October, amid tension with Jean and Kathy's fear of going to prison. Although they initially dismissed the kiss as a mistake, Harvey continued to seek Kathy's company, largely due to Jean's distant behaviour. After Martin's death, Harvey and Kathy kissed again and agreed to pursue a relationship. Harvey promised Kathy that he would end things with Jean, but he hasn't had the courage to do so yet. Hoping for some alone time, Harvey planned a camping trip with Kathy. However, things went wrong when Jean found the brochure and the Slaters assumed the trip was meant for them. More drama followed when Jean refused to go unless Stacy came too, which upset Lily. Harvey convinced Stacy to join, but then Lily refused to go, not wanting her mum there. Feeling overwhelmed by all the family chaos, Harvey went to the cafe to talk to Kathy, but she gave him the cold shoulder. Now, he must decide whether to finally break up with Jean before Kathy runs out of patience. Soon, Jean proposes at No. 31. Stacy and Lily finally reconcile, but their plans for a camping trip fall apart when Alfie announces that the camper van is no longer available. Meanwhile, Harvey is overwhelmed with guilt after his meeting with Kathy, while Jean is touched by Harvey's effort to organise the trip for them. However, when Harvey returns home, Jean surprises him with a marriage proposal. The big question is, will Harvey say yes? 3. Vicky and Ross worry about Joel earlier in the week. Ross grew suspicious about how much time his son Joel was spending on his phone, but Vicky brushed it off as normal teenage behaviour. Ross's concerns suggested he might be hiding something. Later, Ross and Vicky discovered that Joel had slept with Avani. While Vicky tried to downplay the situation, Ross was shocked to find out Joel had secretly recorded the act without Avani's consent. Joel lied and said Avani agreed to the filming, then pretended to delete the video. Ross eventually confessed to Vicky the real reason they had to leave Australia and the truth behind their debt, revealing a troubling past. Meanwhile, Avani ended things with Joel, who then tried to impress Tommy by showing him a recording, proving to be a harmful influence. Next week, Vicky urges Ross to speak to Ravi and Priya about their children's actions, but Ross avoids the conversation due to Joel's secret. Instead, he speaks privately with Avani, which Suki notices and finds suspicious. Suki confronts both Ross and Avani separately. When their stories don't match, Vicky is forced to come clean, revealing that Joel and Avani had slept together. 4. Harry feels betrayed by Gina. Harry is still reeling from the shock that Nicola hired Benji to kill his ex-girlfriend, Shireen. Unaware that Nicola herself was the one who actually murdered her, he's spiraling, drinking heavily, and trying to push his parents out of his life. Next week, Gina grows more concerned, and during an encounter with Teddy and Nicola in the Minute Mart, she reveals everything when they confront her about their son's well-being. Teddy and Nicola go to the Arches to discuss Gina's revelations with Harry, but he angrily dismisses them and lashes out at Gina for betraying his trust. Gina denies any wrongdoing, and they eventually reconcile. However, Jay warns Gina about getting too close to Harry, questioning if he's truly someone she should be involved with. Later, Harvey misinterprets Gina's intentions, and embarrassed, he leaves to drown his sorrows at the Vic with Billy. Meanwhile, Gina goes to find Harry, but ends up encountering Billy instead, who questions her about what happened. Bayside. Linda tries to convince Phil to build bridges. Linda is left confused after learning that Phil still has feelings for Sharon, especially when he hesitates to call her. Phil then drops a bombshell, revealing that Sharon slept with Grant, which led him to cut her out of his life for good. Still angry about Sharon's affair with his brother, Phil struggles with his feelings, and Linda tries to smooth things over by encouraging him to speak to Sharon. The big question is, will Phil be willing to forgive Sharon and move forward? 6. Jean gets the wrong idea about Harvey. When Harvey can't give Jean an answer to her marriage proposal, she flees to the cafe, where she confides in Kathy. Meanwhile, Alfie questions Harvey about why he didn't give Jean a straightforward yes. Later, Harvey tries to reveal his affair to Jean, but his clumsy attempt only makes things worse when Jean mistakenly interprets his words as an acceptance of her proposal. As the Slaters start celebrating the engagement, Harry excuses himself to slip away and see Kathy. The pair share a kiss, unaware that Cindy is watching and has recorded everything. The following day, Harvey feels overwhelmed as everyone in the square begins to congratulate him on his engagement. At George and Elaine's request, the family heads to the Vic to officially announce the news. 7. Cindy reveals all at the Vic. Ian and Kathy are busy preparing for the return of Peter and Lauren with their newborn son, Jimmy. They're hosting a welcome home party, but things take a turn for the worse when Cindy arrives. Despite Cindy helping Lauren get to the hospital, Peter shuns his mother when she arrives, leaving Cindy feeling rejected once again. It was in the Vic where Cindy's affair was first exposed, thanks to Freddie's recording capturing her confession to David Wicks that she was sleeping with Junior. Now, Cindy is ready for her revenge. As Harvey and Jean make their engagement announcement, Cindy plays the video of Kathy and Harvey kissing in front of the pubgoers. On Thursday, the residents of Albert Square are shocked by Cindy's revelation, and Jean presses Harvey about the contents of the video. Later, Kathy and Ian head home, where Kathy reveals the truth about her affair. 8. Ravi learns the truth on Wednesday. Suki tries to have a conversation with Avani about her decision to sleep with Joel, but Avani isn't interested and storms off. Suki then starts to confide in Priya, but she quickly has to cover up when she realizes that Ravi is within earshot. After a near miss, Suki finds another quiet moment to continue her conversation with Priya, but when Ravi returns home, he overhears everything. Ravi immediately heads to No. 43, planning to confront Joel, which leads to a heated confrontation between him and Ross. Will Joel be the next teen in Walford to be dangled from the viaduct by his ankles?
Các bạn vừa theo dõi một sản phẩm của EastEnders Spoiler TV. Xin chào và hẹn gặp lại các bạn.